Let's talk about digital marketing. It's this massive universe of ads and clicks and content that, let's face it, is a huge part of our daily lives. But just how big is it really? In this explainer, we're going to start way up high with the 30,000-foot view of this colossal industry, and then we're going to zoom all the way down to street level to see how it actually works for a single local business. Okay, let's kick things off with a number that's kind of hard to wrap your head around. 49,000 crore rupees. That's the estimated spend on digital ads in India for just 1 year. It's an absolutely staggering figure that tells us one thing loud and clear. Digital marketing isn't some sideshow anymore. It is the main event. And this chart right here, it just hammers that point home. Just look at this breakdown. Digital advertising now commands a whopping 44% of the entire ad market. I mean, that's more than television and print combined. The days when TV was the undisputed king of advertising, well, they're officially over. Digital is the new dominant force. But let's be real. Talking about tens of thousands of crores can feel a little abstract, right? It brings up a much more down-to-earth question. What does any of this mean for the small businesses we see every single day? How does all that money actually trickle down to the ground level? And just to really set the stage before we zoom in, this whole industry is built on a foundation of over 800 million internet users here in India. That's the audience. That's the massive crowd that every single business, from the giants to the corner shop, is trying to reach. Now, what's really fascinating here is who's doing most of the spending. It's the giants, the big consumer brands. We're talking everything from soaps to snacks and the huge e-commerce platforms. Together, they account for an incredible 68% of all digital ad spending. They are the absolute whales in this massive digital ocean. And here's a really crucial point from an industry expert. This isn't just a big city thing or a young person's game anymore. The reach of digital is now universal. It's connecting with people in villages just as much as it is with people in the heart of our biggest cities. All right, let's make this real. We're going to go from that world of billions to the world of burgers. How does a single local restaurant actually play this game? What does their digital playbook actually look like? Well, for them, the picture is a whole lot simpler. You can forget about those complex strategies the big guys use. When you look at local restaurants, one platform is king: Facebook. An unbelievable 96% of their customers and 90% of the owners themselves are on it. It's basically the digital town square where these businesses have to be. So what are they actually doing on there? It's all very direct and super visual. This isn't about some fancy brand story. Nope. It's about posting mouthwatering photos of food and throwing up simple status updates. The whole strategy is immediate, it's sensory, and it's laser-focused on doing just one thing: making you hungry. Okay, so they're posting pictures, they're sharing updates, but does any of it actually matter? Does it really put people in seats and get them to order food? And according to the research, the answer is a huge, resounding yes. The number one benefit that restaurant owners see is its power to bring in new customers. For them, it is the best tool they have for getting new faces through the door. But it's not just about getting people in for the first time. It's also a fantastic tool for building loyalty. Turning that one-time visitor into a regular by just staying connected with them online. And here's the kicker. The owners say this all connects directly to the bottom line. It actually translates into an increase in profits. So this isn't just busy work, it's genuinely good for business. So here's the final score. When you average out what both the restaurant owners and their customers think, they give social media marketing an effectiveness rating of 3.11 out of 4. So the big takeaway? Both sides of the counter are in agreement. This strategy is definitely working. But of course, it's not all perfect. Operating so publicly out in the open like that, it comes with its own set of risks. And for a small business where your reputation is pretty much everything, those risks are very real. Look, when you open your doors online, you're opening them to everyone and everything. A complaint from a single angry customer, it's right there for the whole world to see. A negative review, whether it's true or not, can spread like wildfire and do some serious damage. The very same platform that helps build you up can also be used to tear you down. Now, this is where it gets really fascinating, because these local, on-the-ground problems are just micro versions of the entire industry's biggest challenges. Think about it. A local restaurant trying to manage negative reviews is fighting the same battle as a global brand trying to deal with ad fatigue. They're both just trying to get positive attention in a super crowded space. An owner's fear of one bad post ruining their reputation, that's the same anxiety the big players feel about the rising costs of acquiring a new customer, where one misstep is incredibly expensive. It's the same fundamental challenge, just at a wildly different scale. So with all that in mind, let's zoom back out. We've seen the massive scale, and we've seen the on-the-ground reality. So where is all of this headed? What are the big forces shaping the future of digital marketing for everyone, from those global giants all the way down to that local taco stand? Well, the research points to 4 key drivers pushing everything forward. First, you've got the rise of Gen Z, a generation that just plays by a completely different set of rules. Second, data has become so affordable that it's basically making internet access universal. Third, there's this huge explosion in demand for content in regional languages. And finally, you have new tech like connected TV, which is blurring the lines between the TV shows we watch and the targeted ads we see online. And this quote right here, it absolutely nails the most important change of all, especially with Gen Z. They don't just sit back and watch ads anymore. They get involved. They participate. They want to be active co-creators of a brand's story, not just be told one. And that changes the entire game for marketers. So how on earth are marketers supposed to adapt to this new, incredibly complex world? Well, more and more, the answer is artificial intelligence. AI is the tool that lets brands deliver these super personalized, co-created experiences to millions of different people all at once. It's what makes that kind of personalization even possible on an industrial scale. Which leaves us with one final and pretty critical question. We see the big trends, we see the local realities, we see the rise of AI to try and manage it all. But as this whole system of digital connection gets smarter and more targeted and more automated, does it actually bring us closer together, or does it, in a weird way, push us further apart? That right there is the central tension at the very heart of digital marketing today.